we are team Get Well Soon. Now, as a clinical negligence paralegal, one of the biggest pinch points in my day-to-day job is accessing hospital policies. My entire job revolves around accessing, reading, and continuing to deal with these every day. If I have difficulty in accessing policies, what choice do healthcare professionals have in protecting themselves? Many of you don't know that hospitals have individual policies, and many of you don't know that you need to be following these. So this is why we had the idea for Florence NightingOwl, and then we built it. Gareth.
Yeah, hi. I've worked in the development industry for about 15 years. I'm used to leading kind of dev teams, building kind of enterprise applications and deploying. So we kind of wanted to work as a development team as basically everyone was all techies within our team and kind of follow kind of a standard kind of software delivery lifecycle for building our app. So all of our code is on is all on GitHub. We've got 2 repositories. One contains our web app, which is the front end that you'll see, and one of them contains our API. We did this because obviously we had 5 people writing code, so it meant that we were able to have different branches. People could raise pull requests. We could work in a collaborative manner and not kind of step on each other's feet. Alongside of that, we've actually deployed the app, so we also use GitHub Actions to automate the entire deployment. So whenever somebody wrote some code, somebody added a feature, someone else would approve it, and it would just automatically get deployed to our website. So it meant that the feedback loop that we had for it was super quick. And this is the front end for our app. It also then has an API. So if you go to give me a second, API dot. Again, it's a whole lot of computer code, but basically an API-driven backend as well. Yeah, do you want you guys want to talk about some of them? See if you want to go through one of the brands.
Sure. So hi everyone, my name is Umar, and I was responsible for dealing with the search functions. And basically, what we can do is you can look up any of the hospitals, and what it allows you to do is, so across the UK, multiple hospitals, all of their legal documents, you can quickly search it up for any respective hospitals.
So we obviously couldn't import data for every hospital, so we've picked a couple. Which one was that?
So there we go.
So yes, we can search for one. Is that the one? So these are all the policies. The one's a good one.
But the idea of this is that it would allow people in A&E in different departments able to access the most recent policy, because currently they are scattered about on people's computers. We don't always know where the most current version is. And also, working from a litigation perspective, trying to get access to those policies to defend doctors and to defend the NHS, it takes a lot of time, and that adds on a lot of money that we're draining that doesn't need to be done. So the idea is that not only do we protect patients, we also protect the NHS as a whole.
Hello everyone, I'm Marcus. I'm a computer scientist here at Cardiff University. I was responsible for the databases behind this application and their links. I did have a bit of trouble, and I thank you, Gareth, for helping me out, and I've learnt a tremendous amount today, as I thought I knew quite a bit about it, but I obviously didn't. And I think it was a good opportunity, a good learning opportunity. Thank you very much. I've also worked a little bit on the user experience side of things, adding a few aesthetic pieces here and there, making things look a bit better. We have got an owl with the NHS logo on the top, I'd like to point out. And yes, I've also...
Thank you, team. Do we have any questions? Give your judges first go. David?
I'm at the DVLA, and one of the things we do there is we have 700 people working in a department called Drivers Medical. And one of the things that we do there is we get a driver that comes to us saying, I've got a medical condition, I need to know if I'm safe to drive or not. And the way that we approach that question is we look into the pharmacological questions, some of the test results that they might have. So what interests me about this is that I guess no one is going to come to this with a problem that says, I need to read the policy on X. What they're going to come to it with is, I've got a problem about something really quite granular or specific. What does the policy tell me I can or can't do?
So the purpose of this tool is not to diagnose, and it's not to do those decisions that doctors would do. the idea about this is almost like a safety net for medical professionals. Every single hospital, every single kind of medical place has its own policies. It's very fragmented in the way that we work in the UK. What's policy in one hospital isn't necessarily the same policy in another. Consultants are moving between the hospitals, they go where the work is. It's not physically possible for a doctor to remember all the different pathways, all the ways to do it. The idea behind this is that you would, when you suspect something, if you suspect a DVT, if you've confirmed DVT, you go to this and you make sure you're following the steps before discharging a patient, ultimately protecting yourself and the hospital. So it's that checking, it's making policy accessible to make sure you're following the law.
Okay, so my question would be, if clinician comes to this and what they want to know is, I'm looking at the third bullet point at the bottom there, if they want to know the frequency of reporting to Welsh Assembly Government, because they don't know what that is, and that's important, the answer here clearly is a quarterly basis on the basis of whichever hospital you go to. Would the next step to this, to be able to phrase that in some kind of natural language question that says, if I'm in hospital X, I want to know what the frequency of reporting is, go off and find the policy, draw the answer out, and just tell me the answer.
Yeah, so one of the things...
That's where I can see great value in this.
Yeah, so one of the reasons we've built this in this way, where we've got a separate front end and a separate kind of back end, is that we've built that front end so that we can demo something today, you can view all of these policies and see this. However, having this back end that's all API driven, there's APIs to access, hospitals that access the different documents, so anything can be integrated with that. So that could be a future project that a team could do, which is consume our APIs to grab all of this data and then make it really easy to view and sort of feed it into some sort of AI or chatbot thing. All this is
So they've done the hard work of putting together the